Okay, so you may notice that we are at a higher resolution now. That's because as of right now, I'm going to have to film videos on my iPhone. I have run out of storage on the iPad because I have so many books downloaded on the iPad. The reason for, I guess, is the Kindle. I've been getting a lot of Kindle books recently. I've been on Kindle hiatus for a long time, but DC Comics had a super sale, and I'm like, I can't pass it up. Usually I can, but this one I'm like, there's so many books I'm so far behind on. I can get that one, finish that series, save some money there, save some money there, get that book. All right, fine. And I went stir crazy. I was able to, because there were $1.99 per book. That was awesome. I had gift cards, Kindle rewards, because I got so many Kindle books and just books in general, because because Amazon's being nice now. You don't gotta sign up for anything that's gonna just be a scam. Well, not a scam, but you know what I mean. But I still want to try and go fast. It looks so small now. Tell me if this is better. This is a bad lighting too. Bad lighting too. So tell me if this is better filming this. And you know who you are. Like Mr. Media Hub too. Tell me this is good. All right. Because he's the technical guy. He knows a lot about technicalities, and he'll tell you if you are good lighting and bad lighting. So far, I like this better. I might just do this from now on. That's why it looks so better, because it was like, it's more like, I think it's more, the frames per second are better. I'm doing this from now on. The reason why I haven't for so long is I'm using a makeshift stand. I'm using my iPad stand. Yeah. That's what I'm using right now. I'm propping up the phone against the iPad stand. One downside is I feel like I'm a little lopsided. That's about it. But hey, you don't need to be lopsided. It doesn't matter because I'm just showing off books. All right, first one up. Willow. It's a TV show. Everyone's hating it. Everyone says watch the movie. Okay, you got it. Princess Mononoke. The library lady I talked to last time about books. We have like so much in common with our books. We have the same tasting books, comics, and everything. She said I wanted to get this book ever since before then. She saw me checking it out. Like, oh my god, it's so good. Like, perfect. Yet another reason. I heard this a lot like Monstrous. Monstrous, they said, hey, this is the anime. It's very similar to Monstrous. Seems so. I read the synopsis. It seems to be like it. All right. Lore of Olympus. Yet another one my library lady recommended, but it's when I was like, I might check it out, and then I was checking it out because I had an empty slot. Spoilers: they did not have Sandman. They did not have Cable. They had Cable and Deadpool, but there was something wrong with it. They had to put it into transit again. And I'm like, okay, fine. I'll wait till next time. This is season finale, by the way. So we started. I don't know when we started. I'm sorry. I don't know when we started. Okay, so this is the season finale of Library Hall. Not coming back to at least second or third week of January because I'll be getting a bunch of Christmas gifts. Can't go to the library when I have a bunch of Christmas books to read. You got it. You know what I mean? All right. So this will be the last one till then. This is the season finale, and for the season finale celebration, I'm going to be doing something different. I'm going to actually put in a description when I talk about each, not talk about each book, but when I go from talking about the books that I'm going to be reviewing, and then books I'm not reviewing. So I'll say 0, and then I'll be ones that I haven't read. I should not have done Lore of Olympus first, because now I'm going to do rereads. From Wonder Woman to Bear Down are all rereads. Lore of Olympus obviously isn't. Lore of Olympus, I have yet to know if it's actually good, but I mean, I know it should be because the library lady recommended it. We have a lot of similar tastes, so it should be good. All right. I don't want to close that iPad laptop. Sometimes my laptop is so annoying, and it'll be like, let's shut off right now. And it's like you'll close it, put it in sleep mode. Oh, wait, open it back up. Wait, you gotta turn us on, turn us off again. Fine. All right. Wonder Woman, Brian Azzarello, my favorite run of Wonder Woman, next to Rebirth. That's all I read. Just those two runs. There's a lot of issues, but just those two runs. I feel like I've read more. I'm currently reading the George Perez run. Time will tell if I like it. I'm trying to go a little bit fast because it's almost getting late. Bitterroot is a reread. I did not like it the first time. Time will tell if my tastes have changed. They have for so many, countless other books. Low, Sandman, Monstrous, technically. Wicked and Divine, technically. So, I did that again. Let's see if my tastes have changed. Transmetropolitan, Preacher. So many books I love now. I didn't like the first time I read it. And when you give books a second chance, you're like, oh my god, what was I thinking? Solo? Some of these books I'm thinking of, like, I used to not like these books. That's insane. My tastes were terrible back then. So don't watch any of my old videos. Like ones from like 2 years ago, I'd say even. All New X-Men. Just don't watch them. They have bad lighting and bad everything. If you thought my lighting was bad and you could barely hear me because I was so self-conscious about like, oh, I don't want anyone knowing I have a YouTube channel except my cousin. That's it. And I found out, well, and then same reason I was so skeptical, it came true. So, there you go. Alright, Night of the Living Deadpool. Got my Deadpool fix still. Not my Sandman fix, though. But all new X-Men, that is Black Vortex, but I don't care. There's so many crossovers with X-Men, so many events that were going on back then that there's no way I could always know what was going on with just by reading that one X-Men series. Like, I know exactly what's going on, you know. They always crossed over, so who cares? I gave up. Transmetropolitan. A final volume. And I was missing some issues, too. Some issues crossed over with Battle of the Atom aren't collected in any of the volumes I read. And I went from 1 through 7. That's how complicated comics are. You want to know why people don't get books in the big two? That's a pretty good reason. Not like, I mean, it's number 10 out of 400. No, it's number like 100 out of 400 at this point, but, you know. Alright. Batgirl, volume... I think it's number 10. I'm not going to go that insane. Batgirl, volume 4, Wanted. Gail Simone run. Really like it. See, again, reread. When Vader Down is the last non-reread. Hellblazer. Tainted Love. I like that Hellblazer Garth Ennis run, but I still think Preacher is top notch. Read Preacher. Let's read it. Book 6. And then Vader Down. Okay. Where's the other pile? Right behind me. Oh, wow. You already saw Lore of Olympus. I'm just going to do Lore of Olympus again so you guys don't get confused. I have not read Lore of Olympus. I accidentally went... Because I just saw it. I was just picking it up, so it's a mistake. But I guess I wanted to do all the rereads first, and then the ones I hadn't read, you know? And of course, I'd always do the movies first. Self-made, no matter what. Self-made, when I was going to buy myself... I say I'm glad I didn't. I'm just saying because they had it for free in my local library, and it's just a 1-volume series. It's like, oh, they didn't have volumes 3 and 5, and now I got to get all the other issues myself. I don't mind doing that, but I just saved $16.99. All there is 1 volume. Along with this, there's another one I was going to buy myself, and that's Maestros, volume 1. Yeah, volume 1. I thought there was another thing in there. I don't know why I did that. Pretty thick volume for only collecting 7 issues. I think 1 issue is pretty long. Earth Mightiest Heroes Avengers. I kept seeing this book when I was looking up books for Avengers. I was kind of on an Avengers kick. Only reason why I got Secret Avengers by Ellie Cott. The first issue anyways, first volume. I kept seeing this. I didn't get it because I thought it was based off the cartoon. And I have a really weird tick against that. If it's video game first, then comic, I don't get that. There's an Arkham Knight one that's written by, Arkham City, I think it is. It's written by Peter J. Tomasi. I'm like, but it's based on a video game. I may break that rule with Injustice. I don't know. But this isn't based off the cartoon. This is its own thing. It's a retelling of the origin story of the Avengers, written by Joe Casey, who also did a retelling of the Fantastic Four's origin story I really liked. Spoilers, that review is coming up pretty quickly here. Peter Panzerfaust. I hope they have volume 3 and 4 and 5. I had to be specific for looking up this one. What was the other one to be specific looking up for? Sometimes they won't have like a volume on there. Oh, Self-Made. So Self-Made, story time for Self-Made. The reason why I was going to buy it myself was I wasn't finding it anywhere. Like local library, ILL, GMX, nothing. I had to look it up by the author to find Self-Made. Same with Peter Panzerfaust, except replace author with suggested. I couldn't just look up Peter Panzerfaust. No, that didn't show up. It's weird. Sorry, I just want to make sure I'm not getting text. I am being kind of loud. It's kind of late. Why did my iPad do that? Don't do the thing with it. It's like too touchy. Sorry. I will come up with a much better way of doing this soon, but, Alright. Defenders, Bendis. I have yet to read... Okay, so Brian Azzarello, I have yet to read anything by him I absolutely hate. Like, I like everything I've read by Brian Azzarello. Think of it on almost the same lines as how Comic Pop feels about Tom King. I wouldn't say it's that strong, but it's pretty strong. I have not read anything by Brian Azzarello I've hated. Not even anything by him I've been like, no. Everything I've read by Brian Azzarello I've loved. To light. You know, his 100 Bullets is still my favorite. Nothing has topped that yet. But some are still, like, I would still say, like, nothing has gone below a 7 out of 10 for me, for Brian Azzarello. Bendis is the same way, kind of. While there's nothing I've read by Bendis so far that I hate, I can think of on top of my head at least, there's nothing, a lot of the newer stuff I've read by him, like his all-new X-Men, his Guardians, even that is just like a nice palate cleanser. You want something nice, fun and pulpy that reminds you of like his fun comics, you know, that have been too involved. That's Bendis for you. And you could make the argument, yeah, he plays around the continuity a lot, but I'm not the kind of guy that care about that. I'm not the guy who's been reading X-Men since the first X-Men book came out and has been reading every X-Men book since then. No, I've been sporadic. I've been like some in the 90s, some in the 80s, some in the 70s, some from here, some from there, some from there. I just pick and grab wherever I can get it. Whichever one appeals to me. I'm not going in order. So I'm not the kind of guy that care about the continuity that much. Sometimes I do. I will admit, but sometimes I don't. I'm pretty loose with that. Not too terribly, not like super loose about it, because there are things like retcons I hate. Like, if they wrecked, like, the Spider-Man and Mary Jane's wedding, I hate that. Like, that was super annoying, but... Why? My throat deceived me. My throat wants me to keep messing up and keep pausing. Product placement. That was the product placement section? I don't know. Oh, no. Could be. False alarm. Alright. So, yeah. Nothing by Bendis I absolutely hate. But not the same level as Brian Azzarello. Because a lot of what I've read by him recently, his recent stuff, I've been kind of, yeah, it's good. Palate cleanser kind of stuff. You know, nothing I absolutely hate. Alright. Sonic the Hedgehog, Volume 5. See, it's very weird to me to do this on a smaller screen now. Yeah, Volume 5 of Sonic the Hedgehog. And pretty good shape. Yeah, pretty soon here you won't be seeing Sonic, because eventually I'm going to hit the ones that you don't have, you know? I'm going to hit the last one they have in the local library. I'm the kind of guy that if there's so much of a series in my local library, I am all the more skeptical to keep reading myself. Ah, crap. I got a text. I quiet down. It's just so annoying because I'm like, I'm gonna answer her too. She's gonna be like, you gotta answer me. I gotta know you too. I gotta know you. Come on. I know you hurt me. All right. This last text. I hope this is good enough for you guys. Wonder Woman. This is like I wanted to know Wonder Woman 1. This one I said was pretty good. It's like, okay, I'll check it out. Invisible Kingdom by G. Wilson. I almost bought the library edition of this book. I wouldn't have bought it. I was just, I saw it. New American Edition was talking about it. I was like, yeah, I'll check out the series. G. Wilson is that writer. I like him. I like her Miss Marvel. That's another one of those books that I like that a lot of people don't. And it's one of those books that, like, you know, you can look down at me for not liking. Oh, I don't like to talk about this run, but I don't like to talk about this book. But I'm messing up. Let's just keep going. Skeletons Scoundrels. This is a E for Everyone Image comic, and yeah, it was one I was going to buy myself, but didn't. It's also one that went from Image Comics to TKO. East Love Volume 2, up 2. Cavill Volume 2, too. So glad they had both these volumes. This is a good series. Rat Queen's final volume. The last issue got a 3 out of 10 on Comic Book Roundup. And it's critics. And that's the same kind of critics who will give like 8 out of 10, and then like 7 out of 10 to every single, not even 7 out of 10, like 8 and 9 out of 10 to every single book. Every single book, you know? So when they give it 3 out of 10, that means it's really bad. Like Ultimate is 3 bad. Ultimate Thor, I liked his characterization in the Ultimate Galactus trilogy. I like that it was different. Now, Ultimate is a different take on the Marvel characters. I know it's going to be different. I want to see what they're going to do. And then America Chavez, the good one, apparently. like this got good reviews actually from more than just the comic book roundup critics. Like the audience score is pretty high, and I think it was Perch who was talking about, or he was thinking critical. One of those guys. They actually said this was pretty good. Like I said, it was just a good characterization of America Chavez. What I find funny is that sometimes, like right here, you would see the most recent run. They say start here. They credit Young Avengers and Ultimate, or you know what I mean. And then they would do, because I didn't go in order. And then they would do America Chavez by Gabriel Riviera. You can't see that anywhere here. They just credit Ultimates and Young Avengers. I wonder if that was done on purpose or not. I want to say it was. All right, now on to reading recommendations. So we are at 15:30. 15:30, I remember that. 15:30 for when I'm talking about the reading recommendations. So it's the good, the bad, and the ugly. So the good. Fun Home is good, but I wouldn't really recommend it. It's a autobiographical book. It's kind of like it's a memoir, and it's not like it's a kind of an interesting memoir, but it's not like it's not like so hard to explain. It's one that your high school English teacher would make you read, and you wouldn't even like it. It's good. It's not the worst thing you'd read for high school, so you would like it. But then reading it myself, I'm like, why am I reading this again? Why did I decide to read this again? I liked it enough. You know, it's good. If you want a memoir, it's good, but it's just there's not a whole lot of it that was interesting. I don't know. It was hit or miss for me. I would give it a 7. I would give it a 7 out of 10, honestly. I don't want to. I hesitate to say I hated it. I hesitate to say I liked it. Mixed bag. Batgirl by Gail Simone is so damn good. Here's a prime example of why I don't mind retcons. This one I don't mind. It's something that a lot of people had to get used to back then. But this is a new 52. People need to understand that, and yeah, they haven't given her wheelchair back yet, so I get it. You know, it's like, oh, I wanted more of Oracle. I can't get that now. I get that argument, but I don't care. I love Gail Simone's run at Batgirl, no matter the retcon that they made, the severe retcon they made. I get that. For some people, it was like how when Peter and Mary Jane's wedding got retconned. I get that part. You know, that sucks. You know, that's a part of the character you really liked. It's gone now. But you still have those Oracle issues. Read those instead. There's no way you've read all of them. And if you did, there's no way you remember each and every one. There's some Suicide Squad ones. There's some, like, there wasn't just a Batgirl run, you know what I mean? Like, there's so much of Oracle you could read. But yeah, I like it. It's New 52. That was like a retcon. It was like, not a retcon, it was a reimagining, and not kind of, like, Ultimate Universe kind of, sort of. Like, it was kind of like a going back to square one kind of thing. I like that run. It's a good run. It's very interesting. They keep, like, it's a reread, too. So it's just as investing as it was before, somehow. Like, it's like I'm reading it again. All over again. There also was a lot I forgot about. I forgot how certain things ended. I remember how certain things begun, and then someone in the middle, but when they ended, I was like, how'd that end again? He died? Did he live? Did that happen? That happened? I don't remember. Light Brigade was pretty good. Each issue was 48 pages, so it was this long to read each issue because it got pretty long, but it was still good. I still liked it. I still recommend it. Again, because I had to read this, I had to read this it was my last book almost every night. And some nights I would just give up. I'd have X-Men, and I'd have Cowl, let's say, then I'd have Light Brigade. And Light Brigade was always the last one, and sometimes I'd just give up. I'm like, I'm not gonna read this tonight. I'm gonna read it tomorrow night. Because I was too tired. I didn't want to, collapse, you know? So, I'll read it tomorrow. And it was always it wasn't the last one I had, it was the last 3. I'd give up at that point because I knew I'd have Light Brigade to read. Not because I hated it. I did like Light Brigade, but again, it was just so long, so each issue felt like, it was an older book, so each issue felt like it was twice the amount of size, so probably it was 80 pages per issue. It's a lot to get through, but I did. I'm glad I did, because the ending was so sweet. Almost made me cry. And it's a war story, and I'm pretty biased against war stories. Pretty biased. I mean, I'm just not interested in it. I don't know what it is. I have no real interest in war stories. Next one up is Excellence. I did it again. I got, or asked for volumes 1 and 2 for Christmas because I liked it so much and it didn't have volume 2. And I don't care. That volume 1 was so damn good. By Brandon Thomas, Image Comics, Excellence Volume 1. Top notch. I am now a fan of Brandon Thomas's series of writing. Transmetropolitan. This is such a good series, guys. Read it right now. It is so topical. DMZ wishes it could be Transmetropolitan. And the fact that it was like the book that came out way back in the day as a post 9/11 comic that was political and actually had something to say. Like, if this came out today, it would be so controversial that it would have to be published by, like, Mad Cave Studios. Who is Mad Cave Studios? Well, they're known for publishing. Let's say that, like, I don't know who Mad Cave Studios is per se. I don't know who they are actually. I'm just saying they'd have to go under they would have to keep getting rejected because that's how controversial a series is. Back then, no one cared, but now they do. So they keep getting rejected. They would have to go to Mad Cave Studios or someone that's not known that well. Like, even Dark Horse would say we're too mainstream for Transmetro. Put it somewhere else. That's how good it's good. It's good controversy too. It's telling the truth, and some people don't like the truth, and it's very crass and crude too. It's like R-rated as you can be. It is so damn good. Preacher, I can't say it's enough. Preacher is so damn good. I'm seriously considering getting the omnibuses myself. I can't because I'm so tied down to Image Comics, and there's so many books I need to get instead. But once I get all those, I'll get Preacher. If I had the money to buy every comic I ever wanted, Preacher would be on that list. I wouldn't care if it's in a local library, all 6 volumes, and in perfect condition. Nothing wrong with them. I'm going to get them myself. It's my favorite comic of all time for a reason. Hellblazer by Ernest. It's pretty good. I like the pregnancy story. That was pretty good. Some of them were hit and miss. I like the Chaz story when Chaz was like it wasn't butchers. It was like he helped out Chaz with these like meat eaters. No, it wasn't meat eaters. It was something really freaked out. I forget. I don't know. What was that one? If you explain the storyline to me, I tell you it's that one. I think it was a one shot too. But all the others were pretty good, but those were standouts. Dungeons and Dragons. Sometimes I'll reread a series and I'll really like it. I'll be like, why did I like that before? This one, on the other hand, I liked a little bit less. This was just like too mediocre. Sometimes mediocre can be worse than bad. But I still liked it. When it hit. And I was like, oh yeah, that's why I checked it out, my local library. So I still recommend it. Even if the hits were, even the misses kind of were like slogs to get through. But once that was over, you're like, okay, I'm glad I stuck through with this. It was good. So, mixed, but mostly good. X-Men, all new X-Men. This is my favorite volume. I love the Ultimate Universe. I love Miles Morales, and they gave me that, and it was a crossover, and it was all the best parts of the crossover. You didn't have to be reading Miles Morales to understand what's going on, which is insane. But because it was X-Men crossing over with the Ultimate Universe, you did have to be reading X-Men at that point. But it was solid stuff. Solid stuff. If you're skeptical to read, or you heard All New X-Men isn't too good, I'd give them Ultimate Adventure. Like, give the critics that hated All New X-Men by Bendis, Volume 6, and say, read this again, buddy. Cable and Deadpool, Volume 3. There's a reason why I was so discouraged they didn't have Volume 4. Well, they did, but they had to put it back in transit because there's something wrong with it. It was just a weird thing. It was like, oh, the wrong volume on the sticker? Who cares? Just give it to me, man. I'll put a note on it. I should have said that. But I love the series. I love the series so much now. And it took me a long time to get into it, but now I like it. Darth Vader, Volume 2. Solid run. Kieran Gillen's the best Star Wars book from Marvel. Currently, like the new stuff. And again, I haven't read a whole lot of Star Wars. It's my favorite Star Wars book. And I've only read, like, a few. I've read the Jason Aaron run, this, and the Charles Soule one, and then that one by Marjorie Liu. And that's about it. So, take with a pinch of salt, but still, I wouldn't say that. Because there's a reason why so many people like Kieran Gillen's writing and the beta run. I hope I'm not too quiet. I feel like I am. Guardians of the Galaxy by Bendis. Again, damn good. Because, again, that's something about Bendis, is that his books, I don't have a lot to talk about. I'm like, again, his modern stuff. I'm like, yeah, it's a good series. I like it. It's a nice palate cleanser. Yeah, cool. Moving on. Ant-Man by Nick Spencer, the final volume. So good. I was so sad to see the series go. I want more of Nick Spencer's Ant-Man, but not enough to get it ongoing. So, I'll be fine with this. The purchase is ongoing. And yeah, I mean, I wish there was more than the library had, that it was out, you know what I mean. Fantastic Four by Joe Casey. I already said I liked it. This is the retelling of the origin story. This is how you do a retelling of the origin story. It does change a lot, so I wouldn't say this is the origin story. I want it to be in continuity. But as far if it's you know, again, I'm not the continuity guy. I'm not to care about the continuity. Like, oh, this change, I hate that change. No, I don't really care. Like, for the most part, again. But this is a solid book. And I'll be looking up at Joe Casey books now. Spider-Woman was good. The artwork by Joe DeLuna Brothers reminds me of early 2000s artwork. The best kind, too. And the story was pretty good, too. It was, again, written by Bendis. And it wasn't like it was dark. You could argue it was too dark, and I felt like this was different than what I expected an origin story for Spider-Woman to be. And this was a spin-off from her New Avengers run, from Bendis' New Avengers run. And that one was one that I liked. Again, no one seems to like that run, but I did. And what I remember of her in that run, it was different than what I got with the origin story. So yes, you could make that argument that this is a weird version of the character, especially because this is supposed to be the same character. So that is a one downside I have to it, but that's such a menial downside. But pick this book up. You'll be surprised. I didn't get the best reviews, so me just liking Bendis. I don't know. Sandman, love it. This is one shot. I skipped the last one shot. It was text only. I'm like, hell no. They're all one shots too. I don't care if that comes into play later on. I don't care. I like the cat one. I heard the last episode of the Netflix series is the adaptation of that storyline. I like that one. And the only one I didn't like was the Shakespeare one. There was two of them. There was three out of four. The fourth one I didn't read. That was the text only one. So it was 3 issues that I read because there's only 4 issues. It's a very, very thin book. I like the first and third one. The cat one. What was the first one? Oh, it was a Raider one. That one was pretty dark. That was like the best of Sandman. Sonic. It's pulpy fun. That's my Power Rangers, honestly. Everyone likes Power Rangers. Yeah, it's kind of like not targeted towards kids, but it's not like. Well, this one is, but Power Rangers isn't. And this is a 2-for-1 sale. This is also a review of Power Rangers and Sonic. But Power Rangers, like, I don't know what it is. Like, I mean, it's like grew up with Sonic, but Sonic is just like it's fun, you know. It's like it knows what it is and it has fun with it. Power Rangers does too, but it's just I feel like a lot more is going on that it doesn't need to be going on. I could be wrong. Maybe I'm just like maybe it's because I've lost the plot and I just like kind of don't care almost. I still do recommend it. Obviously, the Power Rangers run because everyone else likes it. So it's my personal taste. If you grew up with Power Rangers and you're interested in the Power Rangers comic, you will not be disappointed. Cowl by what's the point of it? Cowl by Kyle Higgins. Such a surprise. This is good. It's really, really good. If you're expecting groundbreaking, if you're expecting the next Watchmen, you're not going to get that. We're not going to get Image Comics' Watchmen. You're not. Don't go into this book thinking you're going to get that. If you want to go into Cowl with like a solid book that is a lot is going on in this book. I did lose the characters. I couldn't tell the characters apart. That's one major downside. But the story made up for it. The story was just moved so fast I didn't care. And I did kind of like, I did, I could follow up on something. I could tell you what happened in this issue, but I couldn't tell you what characters it happened to. So, there you go. Bolero. If there was ever a series that you had to be patient with, Bolero is it. Bolero has so many downsides, but the upsides, like, kick it out of the park. Like, I don't even remember all the downsides I had, except for it was a bit slow here or there, and it took a lot to get going. Once it gets going, it gets going. And it is so damn good. It is one of the best comics of the year, but way, way, way down the bottom of the list. Don't think it's that good. It's more like I would say it'd be an honorable mention if I was to do a top 10. Now on to the bad. So now we are at, I don't remember, 15:30. I say at 15:30. So now we are at 31 minutes. So 15:30, 31. Okay. So 15:31. I'll do that. Okay. Now on to the bad. Garmin. I'm sorry on Philly Simeon. I am so sorry, but I didn't like this book. The ending, I almost cried. That was the best part with this book. Not because it ended, but because it did give a satisfying conclusion. Everything else, I was like, I have to read Carmen next. I don't want to read Carmen. Fine, I'll read it. And the last issue, I was like, alright, how do I get now? Very mixed, but mostly bad. It's not ugly, it's just bad. Autumn Lands. I'm just so glad this is over. I'm so glad this series got canceled. I'm just sorry, Kirby and Zach, but I have read nothing by you that I've ever liked. Nothing. Except for Marvels. Marvels I've read by him, I liked. That's it. That's Marvels. That's like saying your favorite Alan Moore comic is Watchmen. Of course it is. Isla. Yeah, Autumn Lands was just a slog. It was monstrous, but all the fun, all the nuance, all the characterization, all the pacing, all the excitement, the fun, the action, the humor, everything you liked about Monstrous, taken out. Sucked out of this comic. Autumn Lands is not just diet Monstrous, but why am I drinking this? And we're going by drink standards, but why am I drinking this Monstrous? You know, Monstrous is like the top tier soda. Think of the best soda you've ever tasted. That's Monstrous. Fantasy wise. And Autumn Lands is like, this is terrible. Why do people like that? Like it's like think of like a soda that you don't like but everyone else likes. That's Autumn Lands for me. Perfect analogy, honestly. Now it's Isla. Isla, it was good, but I just don't know what happened in it. I can't remember what happened in it. It had my bad section right now. I'm tempted to put it in my good section. But there's a reason why I'm glad that it was only 2 volumes to the series, too. Now into the ugly. America Chavez. Why? Avengers, Secret Avengers, Volume 3, by Ali Cott. Unfunny, unfocused, garbage. Iron Man, by Dan Slott. You want to know why people hate Dan Slott's writing? Read his Iron Man run. Finally, Silk. You want to know why people have stopped reading Marvel Comics? Read Silk by someone Goo. Is it Marguerite Goo? I don't know. It's a 2021 series. I don't remember who wrote it. That is it. See y'all later. So yeah, 15:30, I believe. I hope I remember. I'm gonna write it down right now when I do the description. So how'd this go, by the way? You like this better than the iPad? I know I talked a little quieter. It's getting late. It's already 10 o'clock. I gotta end this video pretty soon here. I gotta get my books. Bye.